Fall doesn't officially begin for a few weeks, but it's starting to feel that way. It's after Labor Day. I guess many people would consider this fall, even though meteorologically it's probably not yet. But whether it's fall, summer, spring, or winter, it's Thursday morning. It's 9 o'clock, and that means it's our town time right here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swenson, and this show brought to you as always, and has it as it's been for years, brought to you by the good folks at Decorah Bank and Trust. Three guests on the program this morning. We'll talk to Decorah City Manager Travis Goedken. We'll get you set for Steam Engine Days this weekend. Hesper-Mabel Steam Engine Days, the 2025 edition, will start tonight. Matt Swenson will join us to tell us all about that. But our first guest this morning, one of the great events of fall this time of year in our neck of the woods, is NICC Fall Fest. It's happening tonight, beginning at 5 at NICC's Kilmer campus. And Teresa Kurash will join us from NICC to tell us all about Fall Fest. Teresa's conversation will get us going on our town. And you're listening to it on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. The show, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. Coming up today is one of the fun events of the early part of fall. It's the NICC Fall Fest coming to the Kilmer campus, and Teresa Kurash is with us from NICC. And Teresa, I know you've done this event for quite some time on the Kilmer campus. Talk about the reason you do it. What's the mission statement, shall we say, of Fall Fest?
Well, Darren, this is our 21st annual Fall Fest, and we have it always on the Thursday after Labor Day. One of our goals is to be as welcoming, not only to the students coming back to campus, but to the community members to get everybody in one place and enjoy some food and some activities and just a good fun time. But we're also trying to showcase what we have to offer here at the college, some of the educational opportunities and things going on here.
And really that community connection between the college and the community, kind of what NICC is all about. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely, absolutely. We do a lot of partnering with the communities in everything we do.
And tell us about the event itself. Give us the who, what, where, when, and why.
All
I guess
right.
we've given the why, so I'll let you only ask the other four questions.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, tomorrow, September 4th from 5 to 8 on the Kelmer campus in Kelmer, just south of town. We will have all the events it's free to attend. We want the public to be here. We do have some activities for the kids that we sell tickets for. Tickets are a quarter a piece. Most events are just one or two tickets. Things that'll be on site. We have the Moo-Mobile coming. That's always a favorite. We have lots of partners, community area partners. We have lots of different things from the campus. We have the science department on site going to do some experiments and show us some different things that we can look at. The auto tech will be displayed where you can go into the building and see what the lab looks like. The nursing department is highlighting the sim lab where they set things up and make it look like a real event. Our NICC CDL trailer will be on site to show off what we do with the NICC program and the training on the CDL. We'll also have other partners like the corn trailer will be here. We have our regulars where the Amplify helicopter hopes to land. We have a ambulance on site from WinMed and some fire rescue squad. We have the sheriff's department on site just handing out stickers, showing their presence, interacting with the kids. We have petting zoo with some of our dairy animals. We have the Humane Society going to be on site. We're having balloons, Twisted by Marianne, balloons, lots of kitty games, bouncy houses and mazes. Of course, our cotton candy girls will be on site. They are always fun and entertaining, and they never reveal who they are going to be tomorrow on until the day of Fall Fest. So the NICC train, the John Deere program with all their great big green tractors, the National Guard will be here. I'm sure I've missed a few, but that's a lot of things going on in one place.
Needless to say, something for everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
Well,
give us the
oh, Bacalo Band will be here tomorrow night on Fall Fest too.
and give us the hours for the event.
The event is 5 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, September 4th.
All right, and you got a meal, you got a lot of things to look at, you got kids games, you got everything else going on. Anything we're missing, Teresa? Anything else you want to pass on to the public as long as you got the forum this morning?
I just hope everybody comes out and has a good time. We have plenty of seating. We have the Bacalo band on the patio where you can sit at the patio tables. We have lots of mid-campus seating, lots of walking around to explore and enjoy. I just would like everybody to come out and have a good time.
All right, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to tell us all about Fall Fest coming up this afternoon, Teresa. We thank you for taking the time, and thank you and everybody else at NICC for what they do to add to our community.
Well, thank you.
Teresa Kurash from NICC Fall Fest coming up this afternoon. It's the annual Hesper-Mabel Steam Engine Days this weekend in Mabel, and it will go through Sunday. Matt Swenson is with us to tell us about the event. All the fun gets underway this afternoon. And Matt, how much work, how much time, how many people are involved in putting on this event year in and year out and keeping this tradition going?
Well, it takes dozens of people, and there's, four main clubs that help put this all on. The Historical Society, the Toot and Whistle Club, the Lions, and the Mabel area promoters all work together. All these groups are needed to keep it all going and to make the whole thing come together.
And things get underway tonight. Why don't we run down the list of activities coming up tonight?
So it starts with the tractor parade, and of course, you're going to have the trip to Costa Rica set up at from 6 to 8 down on Main Street there as the tractors come into town. And that's usually a big turnout.
And then a dance at the American Legion Hall from 7 until 10. And let's move on to Friday and some of the events that will be going on Friday.
So on Friday, they're obviously the Lions have their band down at the grounds there. That's always a good time. And then there's a football game in town, so hopefully everybody can come down to the grounds and enjoy the band and enjoy the downtown Legion liquor store as well after the game.
And then on Saturday, quite a few events going on. And that's a big day of activities. I suppose if you can't find something fun to do on Saturday, you're just probably not that fun of a person, right?
Yeah, that's very true. There's things for the kids to do and then adults as well. It starts in the morning. There's a softball tournament and a volleyball tournament going on. You got a pumpkin contest at 10 from 9 to 10. There's a quilt show, a craft show. We got pony rides for the kids down in the grounds. After the parade, there's inflatable bounce houses, as well as the little blue choo choo train. We also have characters by Jacqueline and balloons by Kevin. So we got lots of things for the kids to do uh, on the grounds after the parade. And of course, the bands start up with the Lions at 3:30 with the Church of Cash. Tri-State Truck and Tractor Pull at 6:30 over on the historical grounds. And then again, more bands with the Lions starting at 7, go until midnight.
And then the festival rounds out on Sunday, another parade that day, and quite a few activities on Sunday as well. Give us some of the highlights.
Yeah, I guess I even skipped over the Saturday parade at noon with the steam engines and all the tractors and in the full parade. But then Sunday we have church at 9 o'clock down in the grounds, and then immediately following that, the quilt show and craft show open back up. We also have the antique tractor pull at 10 o'clock. Mabel Lions has their Bloody Mary bar starting promptly at 10 o'clock, and kids tractor pull at 10:30 down on the stage or next to the stage by the Lions beer garden. And again, we have a parade at noon on Sunday as well.
And the nice thing about most of these activities, very cost effective, right?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the parade and the Thursday night tractor parade, all that is free. We do have a button fee of $10 to enter the grounds on Saturday and Sunday, and that helps pay for, keeping steam engine days going, help pay for upgrades to the buildings that we use for steam engine days, as well as that $10 button gets you into all that music that the Lions provide the whole weekend as well.
And then, in your mind, what has kept steam engine days going over the years?
Well, there's lots of volunteers that have been at this, much longer than me that keep it going. It's the people, all the groups that work together to, the steam engine, keep the steam engines running, obviously, and keep the parade going and keep, the Lions are working to bring more things down to the grounds on their end of things. So I mean, it literally is all these groups working together that just want to see Mabel be active and see people get together and have a good time.
Anything we're missing? Anything else you want to pass on? As long as you got the forum this point.
No, I just that I appreciate your station for always supporting us in our local endeavors.
Yeah, that's connecting with our community. That's our number one job. Matthew, I'll let you round it out. Give us a little commercial coming up, inviting folks to Mabel this weekend.
Come on down to Steam Engine Days. There's lots of family-friendly activities, and you'll see lots of unique items. The Calliope, steam engines. There's just lots of things that you don't see every day.
All right, Matthew, thanks for taking the time to promote Steam Engine Days. Always a fun weekend. Hesper-Mabel Steam Engine Days. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you and for all the volunteers that make this festival and keep it running year in and year out.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Darren.
Matthew Swenson from Hesper-Mabel Steam Engine Days. Fun starts tonight, continues until Sunday. Time now for our monthly conversation with Decorah City Manager Travis Goedken. A lot of issues went before the Decorah City Council earlier this week. Travis, the council discussed a potential bond issue for the fire station and or the municipal building. Where did that conversation leave off?
Mm-hmm. So the conversation ended with a lot of great discussion surrounding the estimated costs associated with the projects. And I say projects, there's still three options on the table at this point, with one of those being a renovation with an addition to the existing building that serves the fire department only, displacing administration park rec out of the space, a demolition new construction, again, fire department only, and then a third option of demolition, new construction, but maintaining all the services currently on this site. A lot of discussion around the costs estimated with each project, and then an analysis of, okay, if we go fire department only, then obviously that displaces the other services currently on the site. There's going to be costs associated, whether it's a lease, long-term lease agreement, what existing properties might be charging for that lease, and what, quite frankly, what's available out there. As opposed to new construction, those lease costs associated to have a build-to-suit type lease. Still a lot of conversation and digesting of council of those numbers, which are, of course, all available in Dropbox if anybody wants to go and view those numbers themselves. But we'll be discussing again next week, September 8th at 6 o'clock in the council chambers to hopefully at that time the council will take action to put forward to the voters in November a ballot question with a dollar amount and which project we're going to try to pursue.
And I know this is hypothetical and speculative, and it's probably not fair to ask this question yet, but let's say The fire station is the option the city goes with, and that would displace the council chambers, the city offices, and the park rec offices. Would the cost of moving the city offices, council chambers, and park rec be covered by the money in this bond issue, or would that be financed in another way?
So if pursued where it's fire department only, the current bond question would not cover associated costs for the displaced departments. So any of our relocation efforts, our lease agreements, those would all have to be paid out of the general fund, which is another layer of consideration council has to make, and the voters, quite frankly, that if those displaced departments are paying a lease, that comes out of our general fund, which pays for fire protection, police protection, parks, rec, library, anything that's not water, sewer, or street, it gets paid out of the general fund. And if we're instead having to pay a lease annually out of there, that's the area that we typically end up having to make sacrifices to every year on the operating budget, and so that'd be a further pinch on the general fund.
When's the deadline that the city has to decide whether or not this goes on the ballot for November?
Mhm. September 18th is the deadline for us to have the appropriate paperwork up to the county auditor, which I will also point out, also the deadline for anyone interested in running for an elected office. So if you're interested in being a city council member, the mayor, or serving on our park board, September 18th is also your deadline for getting that paperwork to the county auditor.
And as long as we're discussing that, what seats are open on the council?
Mhm. All right. So as I pointed out, the mayor's position that is going to be on the ballot, as well as the at-large position currently held by Cody Whittle. And then for our ward-specific seats, we have Kirsten Olson, who is Ward 3. And then we have Randy Chisel, which is Ward 5.
All right, keep that in mind because that's just 2 weeks coming up from today. I know there's been a lot of community members that have requested that the council pass a separation ordinance, and this is related to the current environment in the country regarding immigrations and customs enforcement. I know this has been brought up by several citizens at several council meetings. The council held discussion on it on Tuesday night. Where did that discussion lead?
Mm-hmm. Correct, Darren. So this was a request brought forward to the council by several residents. The council's discussion, general consensus was this is not a topic that we're going to bring up as a city. And I say topic because really the separation ordinance, the root of it, are the operations of the jail, which is run by the county. And the topic, of course, is around immigration status, which is a federal issue. And then you sprinkle in the extra layer of Iowa Code Chapter 27A, which, as most of Winnebago County is well aware, even a Facebook post can get you in trouble with the state of Iowa. So we really want to avoid that as well. That's an additional taxpayer cost that to defend that we really don't have much business being in regardless. So the council's discussion was largely this is not an issue for the council to consider at this time.
Another topic that was discussed on Tuesday night, a resolution to establish remote water meter recording device installation charges and fees. I know the city's been in the process of updating water meters throughout the summer months. Where is, first of all, the installation process at regarding that, and what would this resolution do if passed?
Mm-hmm. So the resolution, which was adopted by council, allows for any resident that has not yet scheduled with HydroCorp, which is the contractor that we've hired as the system to go in and replace all these meters across the entire system. That contract runs through September 18th. And so residents who have received multiple mailing notices, door hangers that have not responded and scheduled with HydroCorp to get these meters installed, if the city has to hire a plumber to go in and install these meters after the fact, as opposed to myself and the other users of the system that are paying water rates, paying for that plumber to come and now do the install after the fact because you as a resident failed to get that meter replaced, it's going to pass the cost off to the actual user. So right now, it's all the costs are borne by the system. Contact HydroCorp, get that meter replacement scheduled, and we'll have no issues. But we know there are going to be some moving forward that whether they simply refuse to have HydroCorp replace the meter, that we're going to have to pursue other means. This is largely just to make sure that if you're not going to get that meter replaced, eventually when we do finally get it replaced, you're going to pay those individual costs.
This year, unfortunately, the Decorah Municipal Pool had to close a little early because of a glass situation. And when you have glass in the pool, it takes a while to clean it up. Also, it takes a while to make sure the pool is clear from any potential dangers. The council discussed a proposal to help out some people that had season passes to the municipal pool for this year. Where did that discussion lead?
Mm-hmm. You're right, Darren. Appreciate the background you gave on. It wasn't as simple as just, get the glass out and open the doors back up for the early closure this year. So the proposal took into consideration our planned pool season this year, which is one of the longer ones actually within the Northeast Iowa area, was planned to be 12 weeks long, of which we weren't able to be open a week. There was a week that we were closed to start the season due to mechanical failures within the pool itself that we had to get replaced. And then again at the end of the season, 2 weeks because of the glass in the pool basin and everything. So that's 25% of the season. And that was our proposal, was any resident that's a pool pass holder, or I'm sorry, not just resident, this would apply to county residents as well that utilize our pool. Anybody that requests a credit of 25% of their pool pass can do so by October 1st and have those funds applied towards a future Parks and Rec, whether it's programming or next year's pool pass. Uh, you can go ahead and do that. So if that's something you want to do, please reach out to our Parks and Rec department to make that request again by October 1st.
Speaking of recreation matters, I know in our last conversation we discussed the Decorah Athletic Park. The city is still in the process of making a request to Wenatchee County to potentially not only get some funds, but to help out with the application for a community attractions and tourism grant for that complex. Give us the latest what's going on there.
Mm-hmm. So again, thank you, Darren. Appreciate you bringing this up. I was in attendance along with other city officials for the third time this past Monday at the county supervisors meeting. No action was taken at the meeting. A couple things were discussed by the supervisors themselves. I did not do any kind of presentation, but again, to recap, the request of the county is to help with supporting the project, enhancing what's already been awarded, as well as making up the current shortfall on the fundraising effort. Pointing out again, about 38% of our Parks and Recreation summer program registrants were county residents, were non-City of Decorah rural residents. And so We, as a city, we don't charge any different rates, whether you're a county resident or a city resident, for any of our services. And so what we're looking for is instead a one-time contribution from the county to help offset the construction costs associated with the project. And in addition, that's going to help us on a CAT grant, a Community Attraction Tourism Grant through the state of Iowa, which requires cash participation from the county. And of course, if the county says, here's $1,000 towards your $3 million project, that's not going to score as well with the state of Iowa. If that number's, 100,000 or 500,000, obviously those have different levels.
What's the latest on Hively Street?
Well, it might change tomorrow. So by the time this airs, I don't think that's gonna.
There's your on the air asterisk, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. There's my
As we-
disclaimer. This might be different by the time this airs.
Okay, at 11:15 on Wednesday morning, September 3rd, what is the latest on Hively Street?
Correct. So the plan is that the far west end of Hively Street within the next 2 weeks should be able to be paved, and then a portion of that reopened to local traffic to allow, again, off of College Drive, be able to flow into the Goose Island neighborhood. So that's the plan within the next 2 weeks, that portion to be reopened again to local traffic. With that, Skyline will continue to move east with some underground work, largely the underground storm sewer placement, which is going to make access to Kingpin Bowling and the dry cleaners, as well as the Army Reserve Center, rather difficult, if not impossible. So, alternate parking can be a challenge for that time, but we've got to get that underground in place. The crews are doing everything they can to keep this project moving smoothly. Obviously, weather hasn't cooperated much with them this season, but they're moving along as best they can. In addition, City Hall, anybody wanting to access our building here, I'd strongly encourage you simply park on Claiborne outside on the east side of the building and walk in on the south side. But if you want to access our parking lot, you can also access it off Goose Island behind the jail and the sheriff's office, because our normal entrance point on the west side of the building off of Hively Street, that's going to be part of that closure as well.
All right, that's what was on my notepad on my iPhone today. Anything else that you want to pass on to the public, as long as you got the form?
No, Darren, I think we covered most of our nearly 3 hour long meeting last night. So I think we got it wrapped up here in about 15 minutes.
Well, here's to crib notes, or what were the notes back in college to summarize things? Crib notes,
Cliff notes.
Cliff notes. There we go.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Darren.
Ignorance is bliss. On that end of things. Travis, appreciate the time and the information as always. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much, Darren.
Decorah City Manager Travis Goedken. Thank you to the guest on the program this morning, Teresa Kurash from Northeast Iowa Community College, NICC Fall Fest on the Kilmer campus tonight, beginning at 5 p.m. Hesper-Mabel Steam Engine Days begins tonight, continues through Sunday. I want to thank Matt Swenson for joining us as well. And we always appreciate the information provided by Decorah City Manager Travis Goedken. Don't forget, you're listening to the audio version of this program, but we also have a video portion of this program for you. If you ever can't make it near a radio or a smart speaker at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning, well, we have an option for you. Go to 9-4 Our Town program on YouTube. You can see the video portion of this program. We also have the audio download available to you in the SoundCloud portion of all of our LA Communications website. And we link the video portion on all of our LA Communications radio station Facebook pages as well. Our number one job is staying in touch with you, the community. And we try to do that to the best of our ability, because without you, none of this makes sense. And we appreciate your loyalty week in and week out. We thank our guests on the program. We thank our great sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. And we thank you, that's right, you, for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching our town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.